Good evening friends. So today in the series of capital budgeting I am going to post the last video of capital budgeting, and that is on the IRR, that is internal rate of return. Okay, so for doing the same I have taken a problem whereby the cash outflow is of rupees 1 lakh, the cash inflows are for first year it is 50,000 rupees, for second year it is 40,000 rupees, and for third year it is 90,000 rupees, whereas cost of capital is 10%. This is the problem that we have taken for several number of exercises, so that repetitions happens and your exercising goes on increasing. So it was a simple problem whereby we have to calculate IRR, that is internal rate of return. Friends, for doing a sum on internal rate of return, the first condition that you have to comply is you must know the formula. So I will just here come up with a formula. IRR is equal to starting rate plus surplus at starting rate divided by surplus plus deficit into difference in rates. Okay, so now let us begin how to solve this problem. So initially when you are going to solve a IRR based problem, you are requiring two things. Number one is you will be requiring one NPV which is positive, and you require another NPV which is negative. So unless and until you get one positive NPV and one negative NPV, you cannot go on proceeding for calculations of IRR. So this is the basic condition for IRR. So let us first see what is the NPV at cost of capital 10%. So this is the common formulation that we are already knowing. Particulars, year, cash flow, discounting factor at 10% and present value. So cash outflow was at year 0. A 1 lakh rupee, discounting factor for year 0 is always 1, so present value of 1 lakh. Then CF81 for year 1 is 50,000 rupees, discounting factor is 0.909, so present value comes to 45,450. Similarly for year 2, the present value is coming out to be 33,040, and for year 3, the present value is coming out to be 67,590. So adding all of this and then subtracting 1 lakh rupee from that gives us a NPV at 10% to be 46,000. So friends, now as we have got one positive NPV of 46,080, now we will require another NPV which will be negative. So for doing that, you will have to calculate NPV with some different rate. So now you have calculated NPV at 10%, then you will have to calculate it at some different rate. So which rate you should go on taking? So there is one common relation and knowledge that everyone should remember. What is that knowledge? There is an inverse relationship between NPV and cost of capital. What does it mean? It means that if NPV is positive and if you want negative NPV, then you will have to increase the cost of capital. Or if you have got a negative NPV and if you want positive NPV, then you will have to decrease the cost of capital. Okay, I repeat the sentence. There is an inverse relationship between cost of capital and NPV. So in this case, as we have already got an NPV of 46,080 at 10%, which is positive. So we have got one positive NPV. Now we will require one negative NPV. So for getting a negative NPV, you will have to increase the rates. So as we have calculated cost NPV at 10%, so now I will go on increasing the rate. And then as there is a shortage of screen, so I have already done the calculations and just kept the figures. So you have to do it in your notebook as a trial and error basis. So firstly what I did is, I have calculated the NPV at 14%. And when I calculated the NPV at 14%, it has again came positive 35,270. So I again increased the rate. Then I increased the rate 21%. So I calculated NPV at 21%, and that has came to be 19,380, which is again positive. So I am supposed to increase rates again. Then I have suddenly increased the rates to 34%. And when I have calculated the NPV at 34%, I have got a negative NPV of 3,110. So now I have got one positive NPV and I have got one negative NPV. Once you get this, then you can put the values in the figure, in the formula, and you can easily get the IRR. Now let us move towards the formula of IRR. So IRR is equal to starting rate plus surplus at starting rate divided by surplus plus deficit multiplied by difference in rates. Whereby, if you still remember, I will just make a clearance of that. Starting rate is nothing but the rate at which NPV is positive. So in our case, the NPV is positive at 10%. The amount was 46,080. So I have taken starting rate to be 10% plus surplus at starting rate. Surplus means positive NPV. So at 10% NPV was 46,080. So I have taken the value 46,080. Then divided by surplus plus deficit. So surplus is nothing but that 46,080 plus deficit is nothing but the negative NPV. So the negative NPV was at 34% and the negative NPV was 3,110. So I have taken this value 3,110. Here friends, you have to make one thing, that whenever you are going to take the 3,110 value, although it is negative, but every time you are going to add the same in this figure. So you will not write it negative here, rather you will write a positive. Okay. So now 46,080 divided by 46,080 plus 3,110 multiplied by difference in rate. So positive NPV was at 10% and negative NPV was at 34%. So the difference between 34% and 10% is 34 minus 10, that is 24. So I have written 24 over here, and then there is simple calculation. So 10 plus 46,080 divided by addition of this comes to 49,190 multiplied by 24. Then I did the calculations and I found that 10 plus 22.4826. Then I have added 10 plus 22.4826 and I got a final answer, that is IRR, which is equal to 32.4826%. So this is the methodology by which you can calculate internal rate of return. It's very simple. Two things that you will supposed to remember. One is for calculating IRR, you should know that there must be one positive NPV and there must be one negative NPV. For getting negative NPV, you will have to increase the cost of capital, and for getting positive NPV, you will have to decrease the cost of capital. Okay, then you have to remember the formula. IRR is equal to starting rate plus surplus at starting rate divided by surplus plus deficit multiplied by difference in rates. So these are the things that you need to remember while calculating IRR. As in this calculation of IRR, you are not knowing when you will get a positive NPV or when you will get a negative NPV. That is why IRR is also known as a trial and error based method. So this is the simplest way of calculating IRR. One more thing that you should remember as a part of knowledge. Whenever you will be calculating IRR, your answer would always be in between the two rates at which you have got one positive NPV and one negative NPV. So in this case, your positive NPV was at 10% and your negative NPV was at 34%. And see the final answer, it is 32.4826%. So it means that the answer is between 10% and 34%. So this is the cross check for you. Whenever you will be solving it in the examinations, you just have to cross check whether the answer has come in between the positive NPV and the negative NPV cost of capital. So I hope this is the small intention of letting you know as to how to calculate the IRR. Just go on practicing the same problem for 1 or 2 times just to get the idea clarified, and this is way by which you can get on the IRR. I hope you have understood the video. If there are any issues, you can go on asking for the same. I hope that COVID and Corona, you are safe and you are taking care of your family as well as of yourself, but at the same time you are making sure that the studies would also not get hampered. Thank you for giving your time and your patience listening. Thank you.